Ah, hell. What time of day is it, lad?
Thou art so fat-witted with drinking cups of old sack, and unbuttoning after supper, and sleeping upon benches afternoon, that thou hast forgotten to demand that truly which thou would truly know. What the devil do you have to do with the time of day? Unless hours were cups of sack, and minutes food, and clocks the tongues of bawds, and dials the signs of whorehouses, and the blessed sun himself a fair hot wench in flame-colored taffeta. I see no reason why you should be so superfluous to demand the time of day.
Indeed, now you've come near me, Hal. For we that take purses go by the moon and the 7 stars, and not by Phoebus, that wandering fair knight. And I prithee, sweet wag, when thou art king, as God save thy grace, majesty, for thou wilt have no grace.
What, none?
No, by my troth, not so much as will serve to prologue to an egg and butter.
Well, how then? Come roundly.
Marry then, sweet wag, when thou art king, let us, who are squires of the knight's body, be called thieves of the day's beauty. Let us be Diana's foresters, gentlemen of the shade, minions of the moon. And let men say that we be men of good government, being governed, as the sea is, by our noble and chaste mistress the moon, under whose countenance we steal.
Thou sayest well, for the fortune of us that are the moon's men doth ebb and flow like the sea, being governed as the sea is by the moon.
Mm-hmm.
As for proof now, a purse of gold most resolutely snatched on Monday night, and most dissolutely spent on Tuesday morning. Got with swearing and spent with crying. Now in as low an ebb as the ladder, and by as high a flow as the ridge of the gallows.
By the Lord, thou sayest true, lad. And is not my hostess of the tavern a most sweet wench?
And is not a buff jerkin a most sweet robe of durance?
How now, mad wag? What in thy quipsing quiddities? What a plague have I to do with a buff jerkin?
What have I to do with my hostess of the tavern?
Well, thou hast called her to a reckoning many a time and oft.
Did I ever call for you to pay?
No, I'll give thee thy due. Thou hast paid all there.
Yes, there and elsewhere, so far as my coin would stretch. And where it would not, I have used my credit.
Yea, and so used it that were it not here apparent that thou art heir apparent. But, prithee, sweet wag, will there be gallows in England when thou art king? And resolution thus fobbed as it is with the rusty curb of old Father Antic the law? Do not thou, when thou art king, hang a thief.
No, you will.
Shall I? Oh, rare! By the Lord, I'll be a brave judge.
Thou judged falsely already. I mean, thou shalt have the hanging of thieves, and so become a rare hangman.
Why, hell, 'tis my vocation, Hal. 'Tis no sin for a man to labor in his vocation. Point! Now we shall see if Gazelle has set a match. Oh, if men would be saved by merit, what a hole in hell were hot enough for him. This is the most omnipotent villain that ever cried stand to a true man.
Good morrow, Ned.
Good morrow, sweet Hal. What says Monsieur Remorse? What says Sir John Suck? How agrees the devil in thee about thy soul? That thy sold him for a cup of Madeira and a cold capon's leg?
Sir John stands to his word. The devil shall have his bargain, for he was never yet a breaker of proverbs. He will give the devil his due.
Then thou art damned for keeping thy word with the devil. But, my lads, tomorrow morning by 4 o'clock, There are pilgrims going to Canterbury with rich offerings, and traders riding to London with fat purses. Gadshill lies tonight in Rochester. I have bespoke supper tomorrow night in Eastcheap. We may do it as secure as sleep. If you will go, I will stuff your purses full of crowns. If you will not, tarry home and be hanged.
Hear ye, Edward, if I tarry at home and go not, I'll hang you for going.
Oh, you will, Charles?
Now, will thou make one?
Why, rob? Are you a thief? Not I, by faith.
There's neither honesty, manhood, or good fellowship in thee, or thou camest not of blood royal if thou darest not stand for 10 shillings.
Well then, once in my days I'll be a madcap.
Well, that's well said.
Well, come what will, I'll tarry at home.
By the Lord, I'll be a traitor then when you are king.
I care not.
Sir John, I prithee, leave the prince and me alone. I will lay him down such reasons for this adventures that he shall go.
Well, God give thee the spirit of persuasion, and him the ears of prophecy, that what thou speakest may move, and what he hears may be believed, that the true prince may, for recreation's sake, prove a false thief, for the poor abuses of time want countenance. Farewell, thou shalt find me in Eastcheap.
Now, my good sweet honey lord, ride with us tomorrow. I have a jest to execute that I cannot manage alone. Falstaff, Burnoff, Petto, and Gadshill shall rob those men. Yourself and I will not be there. And when they have their booty, you and I will rob them.
How shall we part with them in setting forth?
Why, we should set forth before or after them, and appoint them a place of meeting, wherein it is at our pleasure to fail. And then they will venture upon the exploits themselves, which they shall have no sooner achieved, but we will set upon them.
Yea, but 'tis that they will know us by our habits and by every other appointments to be ourselves.
Oh, tut! The visits will be changed after we leave. And, sir, I have cases of buckram for the nonce, to mask our, outwardly appearance.
Yeah, I doubt they will be too hard for us.
Well, for 2 of them, I know them to be as true-bred cowards that ever turn back. And for the 3rd, if he fight longer than he see reason, I'll forswear arms. The virtue of this jest will be the uncomprehensible lies that the same fat rogue will tell us when we meet at supper. How 30 at least he fought with what wards, what blows, what extremities he endured. And in the reproof of this lies the jest.
Well, I'll go with thee. Provide us all things necessary to meet me tomorrow night in Eastcheap. Farewell.
Farewell, my lord.
I know you all the while uphold the unyoked humor of your idleness. Yet herein I will imitate the sun, who doth permit base contagious clouds to smother up his beauty from the world, that when he please again to be himself being wanted, he may be more wondered at, by breaking through the foul and ugly mists of vapors that did seem to strangle him. If all the year were playing holidays, to sport would be as tedious as to work. But when they seldom come, they wished for come. And nothing pleaseth but rare accidents. So in this loose behavior I throw off, and pay the debt I never promised. By how much better than my word I am? By so much shall I falsify men's hopes, and like bright metal on sullen ground, my reformation, glittering over my fault, shall show more goodly, and attract more eyes than that which hath no foil to set it off. I'll so offend, to make offences skill, redeeming time when men think least I will.